guys doing? My name is Chris Matthews. I'm your relationship coach and licensed marriage and family therapist. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about the roles of a step parent. Now, before we get started into the roles, I'm sure if you're watching this video, you may be interested in what the family system will look like upon marrying a spouse that may already have kids, or you might have kids that you're bringing into a new relationship. In my work as a therapist, a lot of times couples will come in and the sessions are stemming around the integration of families. So within this video, we're going to dive deep into 4 different things to consider when marrying a person or dating someone with kids, or if you have children and you're dating someone that may not. Let's jump right into it. The first thing you want to consider is the defining of expectations. So when I talk about defining expectations, we're really looking at what role are you going to play within that kid's life or the children's lives. Sometimes the partners will come in and they'll say, well, Chris, I don't know how to discipline, or I don't know what I should do when it comes to helping the kid out with homework, or do I enforce chores? All of those decisions are going to be made between you and your partner. So having that dialogue up front. Make sure that if you're the parent, the primary parent, meaning that the children are yours biologically, you're telling your partner what they need to expect in terms of how to respond around your kids. That could simply just look like saying to the person, hey, when you're in the home and the children are there, make sure that you enforce the dishes being done. You have that permission to call out Johnny or Hakeem when it comes to ensuring that he does the dishes after dinner. Go a little bit further though. What does that look like? Is that a verbal cue? Does that look like providing that partner with power to take away privileges like the use of the cell phone? So the next layer is going to be providing your partner with the expectations along the lines of how they can implement discipline strategies. That's going to be huge because the partner who may not have kids or be the biological father is not left in limbo. They want to understand what their roles are and how to function. When you assign that role, make sure you give them that support. Kids can be manipulative, as you're aware if you're a parent. And if that kid is told to do the dishes by the bonus parent and they have the understanding as if, well, that's not my dad or that's not my mom, I can do what I want to do, you want to step in and have that conversation with the kid and say, hey, look, this individual is going to be an additional parent. And when they tell you something, it's as if I told you. So making sure that the kid understands that that same level of respect that they provide you is going to also be given to that bonus parent as well. This is huge because it goes into the next one. The second component that you want to consider looks like giving the kid a voice. A lot of times in my work, once again, I'll invite children with the parents' permission into a family session when we're doing couples counseling. If the kid's of adolescent age or a teenager or even a younger adult for that matter, when they're in the session, the kid is now hearing from the parent what they need to expect as well. So if the kid isn't told by that parent, hey, when my partner or your parent, your bonus parent's in the room, they need to have that same level of respect, the kid might have questions. And sometimes it can be pretty touchy because that kid may be going through some things as well with identity. When they have visitation to the other parent's house, they might feel an allegiance or an alliance. So informing the kid that just because they're listening to the bonus parent, that has nothing to do with their alliance or allegiance with their other parent. And a lot of times that could be the confusion. The kid feels like if I'm respectful to the bonus parent, then I'm choosing them over my biological parent. And that's not the case. So with the kid's voice, they can share with you their concerns or their feelings, and then you can validate those concerns and feelings. If you are that bonus parent, make sure you reiterate your role as an add-on. You're part of a team. It takes a village to raise children. When you decide to date someone with children and you become serious, you want to define for yourself if that's a role you're willing to take on. Do you want to be in a position to help mold and shape another young person's life? If not, then you may not want to date or marry someone that already has children. The third thing you want to consider when you look at becoming a bonus parent, understand the stages of development and growth. Kids are parented differently at each stage of growth and development. When you have a small child that is between the ages of 0 and 3, at that point, a lot of the parenting is going to be about meeting their basic needs. And you're going to be enforcing a lot of developmental procedures in parenting. Having a 3-year-old at home, my job consists of making sure they're fed, they're clothed, they're practicing hygiene techniques, they're understanding the process of making sure they clean their space up. So there's a lot of work involved, but it's fun. Approach the parenting as a bonus parent as the person who gets to have the fun. You don't have to necessarily be the bad person. You can actually be someone who is a friend. You can approach that child as someone that they can look at who is there to provide additional support. You're not trying to replace a parent. You're adding yourself into their life as an additional parent. And just to self-disclose for a little bit, my mother and father, they divorced when I was in high school. And my father's still married to my stepmother now. And she was a very important part within my development, because when I got to high school, you're trying to figure yourself out. I began to date. I was driving. I had more freedoms. And she was actually someone who I could lean on for guidance, because I didn't feel as judged because she wasn't my biological mother. She never tried to replace my mom. She would be someone that would listen to me, and she didn't always try to provide her opinion or 2 cents. It was more about giving me a sounding board or a space just to feel comfortable. So when you think about developmental stages and you're dating someone that may have a high school age child, don't try to be this enforcer. Just be there as a friend. Be someone they can listen to, and they can come to you when they need to talk. And you can reflect back when you were in that stage of growth and development and what you might have needed or wanted from your parent. You get the opportunity to be that person. It makes it a little bit easier as a bonus parent, because although there's an attachment that will grow over time, that initial attachment is not going to be present because it's not your biological child. And that's fine. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be out of the picture. You can just look at that as an opportunity to be more of a mentor role. And the last step, when becoming a bonus parent, this is probably the most important thing to remember. Just be yourself. Children can identify if a person is being real or fake. Come to that child with a level of authenticity. I always suggest that bonus parents have an opportunity to just engage in a one-on-one dialogue where they help the kid understand their role. Once again, to share my story, my stepmother, the first time I met her, she took me out to lunch. Our first encounter, we went out to lunch to a small diner in the neighborhood, and she sat down and she said, "Hey, I'm dating your dad. I don't have any intentions of replacing your mother. I just want to be here to get to know who you are." And she asked me who I was. And it was a relationship that she developed with me outside of just being my dad's girlfriend and then at some point future wife. To this day, I have that separate relationship with her. And she's made it clear from the beginning what her roles were. Her roles were to learn how to love me just as much as my parents loved me. And she knew that was going to be a process that took time. She also had the comfort level to initiate that dialogue with me. And she had some tough skin. There were moments where I was hurt, and I could share with her how I was upset that my parents were divorcing, and it was uncomfortable with her transitioning into my life, and she understood that, and she gave me space. She wasn't trying to make me be someone I wasn't, and she did that by first being herself and presenting with a level of authenticity. I hope these 4 roles are important and that they can provide value for you as a bonus parent. Once again, my name is Chris Matthews. I'm your relationship coach and licensed marriage and family therapist. And if you find the need to engage in sessions with a coach or a relationship counselor such as myself, don't hesitate. There are a lot of professionals out there that can help you and your partner with the transition of integrating into the bonus parent role. Once again, I hope you subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the other side for the next video. You can never go back, I gotta take it on.